Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2, and this is another book review. I just recently read Craig and Fred, a Marine, a Stray Dog, and How They Rescued Each Other. This is written by Craig Grossi. He spent a tour of duty in Afghanistan, and while he was there he actually met a lab, a yellow lab. No, he's not a yellow lab, sorry, he's a mixture. He's not a lab at all. Excuse, what am I talking about? He's not a lab. But he was a mutt that he just found kind of scrounging along the road in Afghanistan. And he thought, oh, I'll give him a piece of jerky. And since that day, they became friends. And one of the soldiers said, well, it looks like you made a friend. And it sounded like he was speaking Pashto. So it sounded like he said Fred because he didn't know how to speak English that well. So the name stuck. And it's a very, very sweet story. And it just talks about everything that they witnessed and just the horrors of war in Afghanistan. And it gives me so much more respect for those people who have gone over there. And I have a friend who's an SFC who's told me, I can't tell you what I've seen or I'd have to kill you. So I completely respect that. And it's just one of those stories that gives you more hope and just animals in and of themselves and just how wonderful they are and how animals are seeds of promise and hope for all of us. And they're an example of our better angels, I think, because I believe that there are human beings in this world who have the ability to love beyond boundaries and without prejudice. And this dog showed him the way. And it's just a really beautiful story, and it's harrowing too. It's very intense. He comes across he thinks he's a Taliban operative, but no, he's just a teacher. And he says, oh, are you Taliban? He said, no, I'm a teacher. I thought, oh God, I can't even imagine. That must be so nerve-wracking, but it's really a beautiful story. And if you're into dogs, if you're into the Marines, then I would definitely recommend it. It's highly recommended by me. It's just a stellar book. And Grossi has my respect. And I'm glad that he keeps us safe and tours of duty such as that. And I'm glad that he was able to save Fred, and Fred was able to save him. And he helped him overcome PTSD, because if you go through that, you're going to experience it. I mean, even before shell shock was a term that was developed earlier on, it just was always a side effect from the war, and that's war is hell. What else can I say? It's a really marvelous book, and I highly recommend reading it. And of course the pictures are just really sweet. There's one where it's he and Fred in Afghanistan. He's napping. I mean, look at the devastation. Yeah. Another nap. And Fred liked to cuddle. Or he still likes to cuddle. Yeah, they do get to go home. And they're on the road. And there's another, he's with a friend of his. I like the photos. There they are in front of the Grand Canyon. I'm hoping I get to see that myself. There they're camping in Oregon, on the beach. Fred in Maine with Ruby. And Ruby is his other dog, and he said Fred didn't like Ruby too well. I thought, well, gee whiz, I wonder why. He chose you, and he's the alpha dog. Most definitely. And my dog's like that too. He's an alpha male. Both of my animals are alphas. So they contend over me, and I get to watch them fight over who gets to love me first. It's ridiculous, but actually kind of funny. But it's really just a uplifting story. Some of it's really quite difficult to get through because it's the nature of the beast, but still, all in all, it's a very lovely book that if you're interested in what they see over there, then by all means read it, because it is absolutely sensational. Till next time, live long and prosper. Ciao, Susie.